guys, it's Jordan. So today I decided to take it back to my old How To by Jordan days and do a duct tape tutorial. Now I know that homecoming is coming up for a lot of you guys, and what's a better way to start off the year than making a DIY duct tape homecoming dress? So I'm just calling this dress homecoming because you could use it for homecoming, but really you could use it for anything as much as you can use a duct tape dress for, or whatever you wear it to, people will definitely remember you. And if you guys are excited to see this video and want to see more DIYs and tutorials from me, then don't forget to click that subscribe button down below and you'll just be notified every time I post another video, which is every Friday. So I use my little sister as the model to make the dress, and it's easier if you have somebody else to kind of help you wrap the tape around if you're trying to do it on yourself. So let's just get started. Okay, so the first thing I did is I had my little sister try on a tank top that I was fine with getting cut up. Then using strips of duct tape, I'm just wrapping that kind of around her waist. And it's perfectly okay if this isn't perfect right now because you can add more duct tape to it later. It's just to get the general sizing. Then once that's taped all the way around, I just cut down the back so she could get it off. Next, I just cut off the bottom part of the tank top so it's easier to work with. And then moving on, we're going to make the top part. So to make this, you're going to need to measure out about half of the size of the tank top that you already cut out, and cut about 4 strips about that size and lay them down slightly overlapping and the sticky side facing up. Then take 4 more pieces of duct tape and lay that straight on top, and we're going to kind of be making a bow almost with this. So start by folding that in half and then kind of doing an accordion style, and so folding the other half backwards and then forwards again. You can kind of see what I'm doing. It's pretty self-explanatory, and I just did that all the way throughout the entire duct tape sheet. Then use a little piece of duct tape in the middle to secure it for now, but we also want the edges to be creased as well, so I'm reinforcing the creases to the edge of the sheet of duct tape, and then I'm also putting duct tape along the edges as well to really crease and reinforce them. But don't worry, we'll be taking this off later. So moving on to the skirt part of the dress, I'm just using a skater skirt that I have to kind of help me with the sizing a little bit, and I'm measuring from the middle of the skirt to the outside. So you're probably going to want to measure about 2 feet or maybe a little bit more just to be safe. Then you're going to start laying them out similar to how you did with the duct tape bow top, but as you go along, make sure to add the strips on top as well, because if you just do one huge sticky side up sheet of duct tape, there's a lot higher chance of it being able to get messed up rather than putting the sticky side down as you continually add more pieces of duct tape. So this part is probably the most tedious and takes the longest, but if you have good music or watching a good TV show while you do this, it goes by pretty quickly. And once you're done, you'll know you're done because you can fold it in half and it will make a square. Also, I did roughly about 20 to 25 strips of duct tape. Then I went around and used the skirt as a guide to make a half circle shape, and then I just cut that out. So now you're done with half of the skirt. The next step is the other half. So I'm doing pretty much the same thing I did on the other side, but I'm actually connecting the two to take out that step in the middle of connecting it. So on one side I'm adding all of the black duct tape, and then the other side I'm adding the pink duct tape, as you can see. Also, I realized I wasted a lot of duct tape on the other side for the corners that I just cut out. So I'm only sizing each strip of duct tape to the size that it needs to be based on the other half of the circle. Then once that's done, you can finally cut out the other side of your circle, and you will finally have your huge duct tape circle that you will eventually use to make a skirt. So next you're going to want to cut out the circle in the middle. So just fold it in half and then cut 2 slits right in the middle to make an X, and then you can cut out the little circle part, as you can see. So that's the basis for your skirt, but now we're just going to set that aside, and I'm going to come back to the top so we can finish that before putting it all together. Okay, so first step is just to take off the duct tape that you already put around it that was creasing the folds. Then I'm rolling up really small pieces of duct tape to put in between each crease, just to give the middle a little bit more volume. Then I'm taking another strip of duct tape and putting that around the middle to create kind of the bow shape. Next, to attach it onto the middle piece that we already cut out, I'm actually just first cutting off the top part of the tank top because I didn't do that yet. And then just to make it look a little bit prettier, I decided to first change the color because I want it to be a lighter pink, and I'm putting little strips of the color that I actually want it to be on top facing vertically, because these vertical strips tend to look a lot neater than horizontal ones. Then go ahead and cut off the excess duct tape. Next, to attach the bow, I'm first taking a piece of duct tape and placing that halfway along the top and then folding it over. Then starting with the middle piece of the bow, go ahead and tape that down. And then using 2 smaller strips, you can tape down the rest of the bow to either side. Then when you flip it over, it should look something like this, and I am just curving the sides of the bow so it gives it more of a sweetheart neckline almost. The next step is completely optional, but I just wanted to kind of create an outline of the bow, so I'm starting by taking 2 strips and I'm kind of doing a crisscross V shape in the middle, and then taking another piece and crossing that down on the underside so that it doesn't stick. Then I'm adding more pink duct tape along the edges of the bow and folding that part over as well. I also wanted to change the color of the centerpiece of the bow to a light pink, so I did that. And then you're going to want to attach 2 more strips of duct tape to either side of the bow so that it can attach all the way around. Then I just continued with the pink outline and folded that part over. And then I decided to go for a black outline on top of that. So I'm using an even smaller piece of black duct tape and going over the edge and just folding that over as I do that. And like I said, this whole part of decorating the dress is completely optional and completely up to you. This is just how I decided to decorate it, but you can decorate it however you want. Then to add a little more decoration, I am ripping even smaller strips and placing them down diagonally and just kind of randomly across the light pink part of the dress. Then to finish this part off, I ripped another small piece of duct tape just to put across the band between the bow part and the rest of it. Next, you're going to need a way to attach all this together, so I'm putting dots where I want to put hole punches so that we can kind of make a little corset in the back. And then go ahead and take your hole punch and punch through the holes. Then fold a piece of duct tape over the edge, and I also decided to add one more border to the light pink part at the top and a very thin strip of black. Then once that's done, you can add your shoelace or whatever you're using to tie it together, and make sure to try it on your model to make sure that it fits, because if it doesn't, you might need to make some adjustments, which I ended up actually having to do because the top didn't fit her right, so I just folded over part of it and put a piece of black duct tape over it to fix that. But finally, the top is done and we can move on to the skirt. So you're going to want to start by making slits all the way around the skirt, about 2 to 3 inches apart, and make sure that they're going outwards towards the edge of the skirt. So on each slit, you're going to want to fold it over kind of halfway to the other side and then fold it back kind of like a little accordion, and do that on the other side as well so that the middle slitted part kind of sticks out over the rest of it. It's kind of hard to explain, but you should be able to see what I'm doing. And then take 2 pieces of duct tape and duct tape that to the slits around it. But when you duct tape it, make sure that you have each square of duct tape facing upright, like vertically, so that you can attach it easily to the top part of your dress. I realize that what I'm saying probably makes no sense, but it kind of came with a lot of trial and error. So basically you're just going to be folding back and forth kind of like accordion folds, and then each time you make a fold, tape the slitted part, like the little square at the top, to the little squares next to it, but make sure that it's facing upright, and that's like the #1 thing, or else your dress won't really work. So as you can see, when it's done, it should look something kind of like this. And then I'm just going around with a strip of black duct tape and going around the belt kind of part of it just to make sure it's all upright and doing what it's supposed to do. And once you do that, you can kind of see how your skirt comes together. Then using duct tape and putting it on the inside of that, you're going to want to tape your skirt to the top piece that we already made. Next, cut a strip down the back and all the way down, because you're going to need to make an opening so that your model can actually fit into this dress. So from the opening that you made, just split open the dress and attach more pieces of duct tape sticky side up, just kind of to match everything else that you already have done to the dress. So it's easiest to flip it over and then add duct tape that matches the rest of your dress, and then flip it back to the right side and add more pink duct tape or whatever color you're using on top of the sticky side to create an extension to your dress. And don't forget to add duct tape to the middle part, like the belt around the middle, or else there's going to be a gap there when she puts it on, and you don't really want that. Then go ahead and cut and curve the sides to round the dress and make it look continuous. And then moving on to the belt around the middle, I added one more piece of black duct tape on the top of the dress just to connect and reinforce the 2 sides. Then cut a little strip down the back where the belt part is, and that will just make it easier for her to get it on and for you to tie it together when she has it on. And finally, for the last decoration part, I am just putting a border around the very bottom section of the dress, and I'm just using a light pink duct tape and putting that all around the bottom, which is actually a little bit difficult because the duct tape is straight and the dress is curved, so it's not going to look perfect. But you can kind of mask the imperfections with another strip of duct tape, which I chose black, and then I put it halfway over the edge around the whole border of the dress so that I can easily fold it over and it'll look a lot cleaner. Then I took these little gems that I found at Michael's and I'm just kind of placing them along the upper part of the pink border to mask any of those jagged edges. And then finally I decided to add a little bit more in the front, and so I put a little square of duct tape on the inside of the upper part and then put a square on top and folded it over to give it just a tiny bit more coverage. And then I added 2 more strips along each side of the bow part because I thought that made it look a little edgy and kind of cool and different. But like most of this stuff, that is also completely optional. But once you're done with decorating it all, then your dress is completed and you can go ahead and put it on your model or yourself if that's what you're doing and tie the corset together, which actually is very helpful because it's very forgiving. If you messed up at any part that doesn't fit very nicely, you can make that part tighter or looser in the corset, and so that's very nice. And the extra part of the dress that we added on so that your model could get it on and off, you're just going to want to fold that under and kind of make a little fake pleat underneath it so that it's hidden and you won't be able to tell. And then there you go, that is your finished duct tape dress. And just a little heads up, it may not be the most comfortable dress you've ever worn, but it's made of duct tape, so that's also kind of a given. Either way, I think it came out pretty cute, especially for being made out of duct tape, and no matter where you wear it, I'm sure the attention will be on you. So that was how my duct tape dress turned out. I hope you guys like it. And there's so many variations of how you can make this dress with different colors or different styles. Like there's so many ways, and this was just kind of the easiest, the simplest way that I could think of to make a cute dress. It's not like your typical lace homecoming dress. Like, it's made of duct tape, so it's gonna be a little tacky and it's gonna stand out a little bit, but that's kind of what the price you pay for making a duct tape dress. I'm trying to get my sister to wear that dress out somewhere, maybe to a junior high dance or her promotion for 8th grade. We'll see. Comment down below where you think she should wear the dress to. But yeah, so that was the end of this video. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe to my channel by clicking this button right here, and you'll just be notified every time I post another video, which is every Friday. Also, you can check out my other videos down below if you so desire, and you can follow me on my social media on this side over here. And also, if you end up making a duct tape dress or really any of my DIYs, then go ahead and take a picture of it and tweet me or Instagram me and show me, and I will definitely like it and comment on it because I think it's really cool to see what you guys come up with. So all that being said, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys all later. Bye!